Hello guys, welcome back. We're going to be playing Titanic, Honor and Glory. So let's start demo. There we go. Much better. I can't control him.
First the train from London to Liverpool, then a short trip to the docks where I boarded the ferry to Dublin, then the long train ride through Ireland to Belfast. Not a bad ride, but excruciatingly long. Check-in at the guest house in the town proper, quick supper, quick sleep, quick breakfast, and a hop on the local train here to the Holland and Wolff shipyard. Fortunately, it was punctual. I was worried about being tardy for being 3 hours early. My darling Claire always said to me, "Robin, you better get out of the house right now and go be useful for someone." She always did lovingly encourage me to show up for work early and give my best effort.
Oh, I missed that. He keeps talking about her in the past tense. Oh my god, she died? Oh. See, that's why you replay these games. Oh. He's not a bad sword. It's just...
Titanic is likely no different from the Olympic. They're structurally identical. The Olympic underwent these trials months ago, so this should be a simple repeat. I board, observe her during the sea trials, vote aye or nay on her certification, and then I ride her back to Southampton.
Right.
Come on, Robin, you can't mess this one up, as Claire always told me.
So he lost the love of his life. Yes, that is floating in the air. I'll take you on the grand tour. I know how to get on, but I'll take you on the grand tour anyways. Part of any Titanic game.
The weather broke, and now I've been given the opportunity to board the Titanic advance of the trials. This gives me a bit of time to really admire the beauty of the ship before I have to scrutinize every last aspect of her functionality.
So they've really changed the story because...
I had better find my way aboard. But I suppose there isn't reason for too much haste. No one else has even arrived yet, it seems. Plenty of time to explore if I desire. I'm quite surprised by the amount of confidence the industry is placing into this ship. She's not even certified yet, and her first ticketed voyage is just a week from now. No room for failure on these trials, I suppose. It's like getting dressed up for a date when you haven't even begun your courtship yet. How do you know if you'll be rejected or not? I learned that one the hard way.
Oh, I kind of feel sorry for him. He's a good enough guy, and he likes his adventures, we will see, but...
Belfast Lough is beautiful. With the hills around it and the morning fog. It reminds me of what I always imagined Puget Sound would be like. A man sure can make a living out in Seattle. If he can hold off the plague.
What plague? What plague is this you speak of, sir? I don't remember American history ever talking about a plague. Bubonic plague, maybe? I don't know! Now I want to know. I don't know. Lulu? Do not fall for the sweet siren call of that deck. For there is nothing there for you. We have to continue on.
I see they're doing all they can to extend my travel time. How do I find my way through this mess?
Hopefully there's a way right up through here. Yep. No, I can't remember. This is a fiddly bit. I can't remember if I'm meant to... I think I stick to the outside as far as possible. I think. I can almost smell the salt air, so very good use of audio effects.
You just can't beat that train carriage arrangement. It really stretched my cognitive abilities.
Yay!
People simply aren't stimulated enough these days. Claire tells me that every night.
He was just talking about her in the past
Since the
tense.
aft gangway is blocked, I'll board here through the first class.
Now he's talking about her in the present tense. And away we go. Okay, loading. Titanic Honor and Glory. You're now boarding the Titanic. Please wait. Not like open, closed doors, fiddly bits. Press I to toggle info boxes, press T to toggle black and white. Okay. Ooh, schwanky. But I like color. Still, if it be to your pleasure, I'll show you things in black and white as well.
Most first-class spaces should be accessible at the moment, but I may be able to venture down to third class for a spell through Scotland Road on E-Deck. I believe I'm boarding before anyone else. Robin, right now you're the most handsome man on the Titanic.
He's kind of sweet. I mean, usually I hate the announcer fellows or people doing exposition because they tend to walk all over my narrative. Okay, so some textures are not finished out yet. But we're here for an explore, so let us explore. It looks like they are finishing doing up things. And it looks like in a future build we'll be able to see what those pictures are. I like that you can look out to sea and you can actually see the water. And the music's really nice. Now, I do have Bloom and some other... Whoops, sorry about that. I do have some things shut off. I have Bloom and I have Motion Blur shut down. But, those are the two things that will usually cause you drag. He's going at a good, steady clip. And everything is fairly high as far as the graphics go. Hey, there's chairs and there's no table. I did not have to light up this high before. Maybe this is too high. Before this ship was pretty dark. Now it's a nice sunny day on the Titanic. But I like all the rich details. Like you can come up on here and you can look at it. Because remember, we can't go on the Titanic, even though I think they've tried to rebuild an exact replica. I swear I heard that somebody had been building an exact replica to sell on. Don't get me on that ship for all the tea in China. And I love my tea.
I especially commend them for modifying the bulkhead. I never cared much for what was on the Olympic.
This was the darker part, and now it's well lit. Which makes it much nicer. I like the textures. Everything on the ship will be smoothed out in time. Just imagine being on the ship, and this would have been the upper class part. Which
I see many of the tables are already set.
Where he was born.
There will be a fine banquet here for company and partner representatives, myself included,
okay.
Along with the one and only paying passenger joining us on our way to Southampton this evening.
I like them when they don't want you to go somewhere. It's kind of subtle. They don't just throw it in your face. There would be a chair in your way or something like that. The only thing I'm concerned with is this is a pretty hefty build now. And this is a decent gaming computer. I'm not sure what the final game is going to come in at. Because if this whole entire ship is going to be on here, that's going to be quite the build. It's going to be a pretty beefy game. Did we go the whole way around the stairs? Let's put a trot on it then. Ah, we didn't. Shall we go up or shall we go down? Am I talking like Pirate Captain Foxy? I do apologize. Artwork will be rendered out. The woodwork's pretty good. Decent. I mean, it looks real, but you know there's just that little bit of finish they need to do to it. And I sometimes get my Titanics mixed up and I don't know where I'm allowed to go, so... And yes, I notice it's doing that thing. The thing the Titanic do so well. Which is to show you parts of the ship that aren't there. But this is the only ship going now. The other build that I actually prefer, the developer walked away over a year ago and never came back. I mean, that's up to him. That happens in games, but I was actually rooting for that game because this one's a little more serious. This is the one that styles itself as the authentic Titanic, where that was the one that you could have fun on, play racquetball and play racquetball underwater if you remember one Let's Play. It was fun, is what it was. It was meant to be fun. The Turkish bath hours are follow available for ladies, 10 a.m. to 1. Available for gentlemen, 2 to 7. No, people did not take Turkish baths together. That would not have been proper. It was considered a health benefit.
A nice Arabian motif with cooling colors as passengers relax after their time in the baths. But what a poor state these workers left it in.
Yes, these workers, they also left banana and fruit and... I'm kidding. First class passengers would have been treated quite well. May I?
Who on earth is that lucky dog testing out the electric bath? And I believe I see a sliver of the plunge bath as well.
Yes. Okay, so this ship went in a different direction with what it would let you explore and what it wouldn't, so... That's fine. It's a pretty hefty build, so I'm gonna make this one play so I can...
This is glorious. You can near well see half the length of the ship in this corridor.
Put a little speed on it. Ah!
Oh dear, the door is open. Perhaps I'm not supposed to look in here, but I can't pass up this opportunity for a little adventure. Oh, if Claire were here now to see me being so daring.
He's really sweet.
How by Edward did I get myself here? Climbing too high, I think. No, Robin, it's not your time to get your angel wings just yet. No, not just yet.
Okay, so he does not like his heights. And we have pit photograph. So there are goodies for those. And we will of course keep going. Boy, when I did this before, I had lower settings and it was really dark. I mean dark.
It's quite hot here. Where are the workers, though? Well, I suppose they're likely firing up the other boiler rooms.
So it's not bad that this is subtle when you've gone in a direction you can't go. The other way is the same thing. But it's amazing how far it does let you go, considering. You can look down. Look down through the catwalk as you walk, if you wish. Come on. Come on then. He did it before. I swear he did. Go on then. Just to give you a little boost. You went down this before, young man. Is there a ladder over here you'll go down? There you go.
These machines are massive. 29 on board, propelling the ship through the water like an untamed beast. I anxiously await their performance during the sea trial shortly. Finally free and not held back from anything. No Mr. Tundry in sight. Just freedom.
And if you're wondering, yes, a coal explosion was certainly a possibility. That's why you needed stokers that knew their job. You wanted them hot enough to propel the ship, but you didn't want them so hot you had an explosion. If you had an explosion out at sea, it was game over.
This open space looks like a fine spot for gathering and mingling between all parts of Europe as they make their journey across the pond to the New World. Perhaps a place on the west coast, like Seattle.
Is that the racquetball court? It sounds like it. I thought we were the only one aboard. So there are NPCs everywhere, which is interesting. I really like the graphics and the details they bothered with, like the ship's hoses and such. And I'm not saying they didn't bother with all of it, you know what I mean. Okay. Oh, I did not trigger...
A stark contrast from the first-class accommodations, I should say, but still a major improvement from the other liners I've inspected. In all honesty, I envy these people in the lower class. The world is open to them. They move to America and build their future how they choose. They could be loggers, for example. But father wanted me to be a surveyor like he and his father. No logging for you, Robin. Now wash your ears.
He's justifiably angry. We might today think he had it good, but fathers control their children. And if he wanted to get any inheritance or to keep getting funded by Dada, he did as he was told. If he had went on his merry way to be a logger, he would have been disowned and cut off from the family. It was a real thing. It's still done to a certain extent. We all know people whose families control them one way or another. And it would have been seen as him stepping down in class, and it would not have been seen as acceptable. It depends. Some free-thinking fathers might have said, fine, go off, go be a logger, but his father sounds like the type that class was very important to him. And they literally have the class system, which, you know, as much as we see it today very differently. We mumble about people being on first class, having it good, like on a train or a plane or what have you. But we don't see ourselves as different from those people other than they have more money to travel. And maybe we have our assumptions of how rich people act and how they are, but at this time there would have just been no interaction between the classes. Or if there was, it would have been very polite, and this is going to sound horrible, but the classes would have known their place. You see the opulence on this side of the ship. These were the people that got the best of the best.
Soon this area will be bustling with passengers, anxiously sending telegrams and complaining about the most trivial of matters. I consider it a blessing that I will not be around to witness that.
Ah, so you're getting off the ship then. Good. I thought perhaps you'd be... See, they've really changed the story then, because, I thought he would be on her for the bitter end. He's a nice enough fellow that I don't want to see him. His clock will be set backward at midnight. Okay? It's good to know. Notice. Eesh, my myopia is acting up. We can, of course, go to the other side of the ship, but I wanted to show us everything.
I shouldn't
here.
venture too far on deck. The Board of Trade members may board soon, and I'm expected to meet them.
Remember, this is just kind of a working demo. No. Quick galloping horses. How did I get to the other side of the ship?
Cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins.
Yes, dear. Many cabins. He's just so sweet and earnest. He really wants to do his job. Even though he's a bit put out that this is what Daddy wanted him to do. Now then, can you go...
Love the wood detailing here. It's absolutely perplexing. Now that's a craft I can really respect. Lovely wood. I've always been fond of wood. When younger, I used to cut wood for the poor folks 2 streets over. My neighbors started calling me Robin Wood. They always laughed, but I don't know why. I wore that title proudly.
Our boy is not perhaps the sharpest tool in the ship, but God bless him. Camera. I really like this. I mean, if this is, in this game touts to be more accurate, if this is what the poorer people got, not the very poorest, but if this is what the less affluent got, it's quite fine by me. Can't really go too far here, I don't think.
I see Tommy Andrews is already on board. Why does this surprise me? His drawings are scattered about like toys in a nursery. Well, I shouldn't intrude here any longer.
But we've intruded over the rest of the ship, and that was okay. You're a strange bird.
I suppose this won't be open anytime soon. A shame. I would enjoy nothing more than a cup of tea and to sit with a book in the lounge and, well, lounge.
I want to meet the insinkable Molly Brown, is what I want to do. That's my lifetime achievement for this game. Very pretty.
It really does remind you of Paris, though excepting the smell of overflown sewage. Wonderful memories are coming back to me of that city. Odd that this room would have its tables already set. Mr. Gotti hasn't even boarded yet. Oh well, top marks for presentation.
He said Guardian, I thought of the crime family. I'd like to find a proper mirror that reflects things and have a look at ourselves. I'm curious as to what we look like. I like the details. I might have the light up a tad bit high. If I do, I apologize. Everything manages to look a tad more realistic when you have the lights down a little. But it looks quite nice nonetheless. Shall we explore some more? Let's see how far we can go. I doubt would be a nice green cup. And then we wait 20 years for Windows to do it. Yes, dear Lord, this is a game. And of course that made me move, so... we get the screenshot we get, I suppose. Is there anything interesting to explore down here? You stopped narrating, son. You're worrying me. Okay, let's head towards the other. And then I think we'll be about done with this Let's Play. Okay, game's lagging a little bit. It's not too bad. Oh, was that a schematic of the show? There you go, C deck. So if you really bother to read maps, and I never do, there you go. And down we go again. So there you go. There is Titanic Honor and Glory. They've really changed the story here. It's not gonna let me go down. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not gonna go back on this until they would do another build, because we've explored to our heart's content. But I will certainly give you a link over to the game. It is a pretty build. I would have actually rather seen the other game go on, but such is life. And of course, you can go and do all sorts of exploring on their website and find out about the game, such forth and such not. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.